We now have a series of committee reappointments. These are for community members of committees whose terms ended at the end of December. Almost all of those whose terms ended have requested to be reappointed, and we have quite a list here, so we'll go through them. I'm looking for a motion to reappoint John A. Duggan, Jr. of 510 Lafayette Street to the Environmental Advisory Council for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'd just like to note, I read through the applications, and I found Mr. Duggan's application particularly impressive, both in his demeanor and in his interest and in his background for this position. I thought that worthy of note, particularly if Mr. Duggan is here.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Looking for a motion to reappoint Robert A. King of 242 South Chancellor Street to the Environmental Advisory Council for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion to reappoint Kevin Edmonds of 117 North Lincoln Avenue to the Historic Architectural Review Board for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2012.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion to reappoint Paul Goza of 536 East Center Avenue to the Joint Historic Commission for a 4-year term through December 31st, 2013.
So moved.
Second?
There's been a motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Looking for a motion to reappoint Patrick Foster of 113 South Norwood Avenue to the Newtown Area Telecommunications Board for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2012.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion to reappoint Debbie Donifrey of 16 South Norwood Avenue to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term through December 31st, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'm looking for a motion to reappoint Heather Lewis of 118 Liberty Street to the Recreation Board for a 5-year term through December 31st, 2014.
So moved.
Second. Oh.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The zoning hearing board appointments are by resolution, and you should have copies in the information that I just sent around. There are 3 motions, or 3 resolutions, I'm sorry. Okay. And they aren't numbered, but I will tell you their numbers. So the first one would be resolution, I guess it's 01-04-10-A, which is a resolution appointing Kimberly B. O'Neill to the Zoning Hearing Board of Newtown Borough. Shall I read the motion, or read the resolution?
Summary would be fine, I think.
Okay. It is a motion to adjust the terms on the Zoning Hearing Board so that the terms are staggered. And this will be changing Kimberly O'Neill's term to end from January 1st, 2009 to expire December 31st of 2010.
I believe they were all discussed with the
Yes,
individuals,
yes.
right? And this actually works out for them, right?
Right, the
Yeah.
Zoning Hearing
Yeah.
Board was asked to decide who should change their terms, and this was what was decided.
I move that the council approve the resolution appointing Kimberly O'Neill to the Zoning Hearing Board.
I have a question on the motion, only, and not to substance. Don't look worried, Barry. But just as a little bit of housekeeping, this is stated as resolution number blank, and I know historically in Newtown Borough this is done by date. This is going to bear resolution number and today's date, and then if we have more than one, it's like A, B, C. And I've thought about this over particularly the last 2 years, why it's that way. Many municipalities or other governing bodies do it in numerical sequence, so resolution 1, 2, 3, 4, so that in the future, when it's looked back, that particular resolution has a defined number. This is by date, and I'm sure there was a reason it was done this way, but when you have multiple resolutions on a given meeting like we have tonight, we have 3 of them, then we've got an A, B, and C, which just strikes me as unnecessary. And if we were to, I think, bring some simplicity and a little bit more order to this, I think, for future reference, we could begin these as resolutions number 1, 2, 3 going forward, and you know, basically change the way these things are recorded. I think it makes a lot more sense as opposed to doing it by date. And if we get 10 years down the road and someone's looking for resolution number such and such, it's all sequential in the resolution book. It's done that way with ordinances. I'm not quite sure why we do it with dates. I'm not going to look to Leslie to tell me because it's not your job to know that history, but I throw it out there because this is a good example of why perhaps going to a sequential numbering is appropriate, so we don't have a given date with multiple resolutions. So I throw that out there. We don't have to do it tonight necessarily, although I think it makes sense to start off the new year that way, but that's just a thought. And I can see everybody's really thrilled to consider the possibilities.
Why don't we leave that up to the new solicitor?
Well, you know what, that's
You know,
idea.
I mean,
yeah, it's not a bad idea, but I throw it out there tonight because I've never really understood why we do it by date. But given the fact we've got 3, it's a good time to, I think, put that on the front burner.
Can we have an also known as, AKA 1, 2, and 3?
Well, we can also go back and change it a month from now if we want.
All right.
So-
Well, why don't we do that, and then we can investigate why the numbering is the way it is.
And with that, I'll second Perry's motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the second resolution would be, at the moment, 01-04-10-B, which is a resolution appointing Thomas DeLeon to the Zoning Hearing Board of Newtown Borough to the term which began effective January 1st, 2009, will expire December 31st, 2011.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The third resolution, which I guess is 01-04-10-C, is a resolution appointing Charles F. Schwartz III to the Zoning Hearing Board of Newtown Borough. His term ended on December 31st of 2009, so Newtown Borough has to appoint either him or someone else to continue in that role on the board, and this resolution would be appointing him to an additional 3-year term effective January 1st, 2010 to expire December 31st, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Just like to announce the openings that currently exist. Right now we have an opening on the Building Code Board of Appeals, if anyone is interested in that. This is a rarely called up board which hears appeals to activities by the zoning department. So if you're interested in applying or finding out more about that, you can contact council. We also have an opening on the Environmental Advisory Council, and those right now are the only openings that we have.